Hello and welcome. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran and you're watching a special broadcast here on DD India. Ashwini Vaishnaw, Minister for Railways, Information and Broadcasting, Electronics and Information Technology, has said that this budget lays the roadmap for Viksit Bharat. In an exclusive interview with DD India's Anil Thomas, the minister highlighted that the budget has inclusion and innovation at its core. From farmers to fintech, MSMEs to AI growth, this budget will empower the middle class to invest in their future.
The Indian budget of 2025 is keenly watched by international audience for the simple reason India has a role to play in the global economy. And to get a better perspective or to help us understand the fine print of India's union budget, joining us is Union Minister for Railways, IT, along with Information and Broadcasting, Ashwini Vaishnaw, on this special broadcast on DD India. So welcome to the show.
Namaskar.
So opening thoughts. It's a bold budget that focuses on growth along with innovation.
Absolutely. This is one of the finest budgets in the history of the country. The Honorable Finance Minister has balanced budget, laying the way our country will grow. The capital investment program is intact. Simultaneously, a big relief has been given for the middle class families. This is something which is unprecedented. 12 lakh rupees annual income. There is going to be no tax for the families which are earning up to 12 lakh rupees annually. I thank Honorable Prime Minister for this bold budget, for a very comprehensive budget. This takes care of each and every section of the society. There are very good provisions for the farmers, very good provisions for young people, very good provisions for innovation, provisions for food security. Every sector, the MSME sector is primary focus in this budget. Practically everything that was required for taking the country to the developed nation status by 2047, that foundation has been laid by this budget.
So change in the tax slab, that's been the talking point. If you see social media, that's one story that's trending, especially the change in slab, the tax slabs that have been created. Do you feel this budget, that's the big takeaway for the common man, the middle class?
It is definitely a very big relief for the entire middle class, because 12 lakh rupees per annum income and no income tax. That means the middle classes will be able to save more, they'll be able to invest more in housing, get better amenities at home. So that will once again boost the economy. That has its own multiplier impact because it creates demand. So this is a very big thing, and I really thank Honorable Finance Minister and Honorable Prime Minister for creating this kind of bold decision of no income tax till 12 lakh rupees income.
Two fields, education along with health, that are primary drivers for a nation's development. How do you see the budget allocation, especially in these two areas?
Very good programs have been created for healthcare, for education, for agriculture, for rural prosperity, for MSMEs, for industrial growth. If you look at the thought process, there is huge focus on innovation. There is very big focus on getting the best quality of healthcare at very affordable prices, right down to the district level. Today in the budget, Honorable Finance Minister has announced cancer care hospitals will be created right at the district level. This is very big. This is really big, and the whole chain of Ayushman Arogya Mandir, the Ayushman program, then the program for 70 plus years our senior citizens, for them absolutely free healthcare up to 10 lakh rupees. So these are very big things which are changing the society and making a big difference in people's lives. So this budget makes a continues that effort in people's lives.
So also with regards to the farmers' income, that's been the talk, that's been where, this government has faced criticism again and again. How or what steps have been taken this time around in the budget that makes the farmers feel more at ease?
A very comprehensive program for farmers has been drawn out in this budget. If you look at it, there is focus on productivity, better quality of seeds, better storage, value addition on the crop, making sure that the farmers get the best quality of seeds. So a mission for very high quality of seeds. All those things will make such a big difference and a lasting difference in farmers' lives.
Okay. So another issue, FDI, foreign direct investment, that's been spoken about. Insurance being opened up. How do you see this particular move and how does it have a cascading effect?
See, investment, when it comes, it creates employment. and it's very important that we get investment from across the world, and today the world is looking at India as a trusted geography, as a trusted country. So people want to invest in electronics, people want to invest in financial services, in defense production, in textile production, garment production, leather production, shoe production, practically every part of the manufacturing value chain. People want to be part of our economy, our manufacturing economy, and today's provisions, where a lot of simplification has happened both on the FDI rules for insurance as well as the customs related rules, is going to have a big impact on the manufacturing sector.
The government has tightly addressed in this particular budget has been, inflation and fiscal deficit. Do you feel, there's a tightrope that needed to be walked and the government has succeeded fully in it?
Yes, and in a very successful way, the Honorable Finance Minister has maintained the fiscal consolidation path, getting fiscal deficit back to 4.4% when the entire world today is having fiscal deficits in the range of 5 to 7%. In that kind of global scenario, getting it to 4.4 is a very big thing, and I congratulate the Honorable Finance Minister for this kind of approach, where there is fiscal consolidation on the one hand, and on the other hand there is very good benefit for the middle classes, and simultaneously the innovation, the capital investment, all the foundation blocks for our long-term growth are maintained.
Do you feel this budget has, further given that push or impetus, especially when it comes to India's growth story?
Yeah, absolutely. The capex program is intact. It's very good. 11,20,000 crore. It's huge, humongous. Just remember 10 years ago it used to be 2,50,000 crore, right? So this kind of change and maintaining this pace is very important. Our industry is kind of increasing their capacity. If you look at it, there are new capital equipment manufacturers coming up. The EPC companies are growing very well, design consulting companies, general consultants, they are all growing at a very rapid pace. So it was very important that Honorable Finance Minister has maintained that pace of capital investment. This is going to be a big multiplier for the economy.
So trade policies that are going to somehow help exports grow, because looking at the geopolitics and the global environment, exports need to be pushed. Do you feel this budget has done,
Absolutely. The focus on exports with the equal focus on MSME, that's going to really pay very well. And the simplification in custom structure, the number of duty slabs have been reduced significantly. Now 8 slabs are reduced in this budget. That's a big thing. Big, huge simplification, making sure that the warehousing for components is properly maintained. That's very, very important, because globally what happens is that when the finished products are being manufactured in a place, then a large warehousing facilities are created where the components are stored, and as and when the product manufacturers require, they are given in just in time. So that kind of provision was needed for a very long time, and very happy that Honorable Finance Minister has considered this proposal, and this will give a big boost to electronics manufacturing, to manufacturing in every sector.
Job creation was one area that the government has focused on through various parameters that have been addressed in this budget. Do you feel something more could have been done, or taking care of job creation is something that's been on the priority for the government?
See, investment is the primary way by which more employment gets generated, and that investment program is very good. It's very high. 11,20,000 crore rupees capex is huge. So that is giving that multiplier impact. Then the demand which will get generated because of reducing the income tax on the middle class families, that is again going to have a very big impact. So these two will have very big impact on employment opportunities.
So sustainability, one word that's been spoken about at length at various forums, but how has the budget addressed sustainability, especially keeping at the challenges that the world faces, at time and again spoken about 1.5 degrees Celsius that needs the parameters that need to be maintained?
In multiple ways, the entire solar value chain, the wind turbine value chain, the EV value chain is considered in this budget. How to make sure that the solar panels are manufactured, all the components, the minerals which are required, they are imported very easily. Then simultaneously there is a renewed thrust on nuclear energy. Nuclear is the cleanest source of energy, and special focus on the small modular reactors. So this will go a big way in meeting our sustainability goals. Already we are far ahead of the goals that we had set for ourselves. Our Prime Minister's commitment towards sustainability is huge. When we talk in the international forums and tell that 45% of our power generation capacity is today from non-fossil fuels, this is phenomenal. No other country at our level of development would ever go beyond these numbers.
So coming to your most loved department, the railways, how do you look at freight corridor? That's been spoken about. The budget allocations, once again, there's been a quantum jump in the budget allocations. How do you see railways now moving towards, all the promises that...
Absolutely, and the budget allocation of 2,52,000 crore, it's huge. And I thank Honorable Finance Minister, Honorable Prime Minister for this continuous support to railways. Because of this support, we have been able to expand the new tracks, double many tracks, triple, quadruple many tracks, and also get very good investment in safety. Last year, the investment in safety was 1,14,000 crore, and this year's provision is 1,16,000 crore rupees in safety. And 4,60,000 crore rupees worth new projects have been included in the budget, and we will be manufacturing about 100 Amrit Bharat trains, 50 Namo Bharat trains and 200 Vande Bharat trains as a part of this entire exercise. The station development is going on at very good pace, 1,300 stations being developed, and 1,000 new flyovers and underpasses will be approved as a part of the entire budgeting process.
So another department of yours, IT, there, the amount of work that's been done and the budget allocations this time around, purely in terms of how one takes a look at disruptive technologies that are coming in the market. Do you feel the budget allocations will help you, especially in fighting those global challenges that the world is facing?
Today, being Atmanirbhar, being self-reliant and having a vibrant semiconductor ecosystem is very, very important for economy. And there is a continuous support from the Finance Ministry for this, and today's budget also takes us in that direction, where there is a lot of focus on innovation, a lot of focus on creating deep tech startups. So those things have come out very well in the budget, and the AI mission is being fully supported, which means that we will be able to take that the huge talent pool that we have, will be able to find that energy into creating new products and services.
Okay. So one final word, now looking at the overall budget and the budget is out, how would you say, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you put this?
10 on 10, absolutely great budget, amazing budget. Managing fiscal deficit, managing the capex investment, getting the facilities for our middle class families, making sure that the poor families, they get their due, making sure that the farmers are able to grow, making sure that employment opportunities come in, making sure that the innovation ecosystem is supported. Amazing. Making sure that the MSMEs are supported. It's a phenomenal budget. It's a dream budget.
Well, it's a dream budget. On that positive note, I'm going to say thank you to you. Appreciate your sparing time, helping us understand the budget.
Namaskar.
This budget is not about numbers. It's about empowering people, raising aspirations of the people, and helping India be on the rise. Well, that's it in this special broadcast. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Take care.
All right, moving on. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi hailed the Union Budget 2025. He called this year's budget a people's budget and said that it fulfills the dreams of the common people.
आज भारत की विकास यात्रा का एक महत्वपूर्ण पड़ाव है। ये 140 करोड़ भारतीयों की आकांक्षाओं का बजट है। ये हर भारतीय के सपनों को पूरा करने वाला बजट है। हमने कई सेक्टर्स युवाओं के लिए खोल दिए हैं। सामान्य नागरिक विकसित भारत के मिशन को ड्राइव करने वाला है। ये बजट एक फोर्स मल्टीप्लायर है। ये बजट सेविंग्स को बढ़ाएगा, इन्वेस्टमेंट को बढ़ाएगा, कंजम्पशन को बढ़ाएगा और ग्रोथ को भी तेजी से बढ़ाएगा।
Prime Minister Modi thanked Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. He said that this year's budget lays a foundation for citizens of the country to become partners in development.
मैं वित्त मंत्री निर्मला सीतारमण जी और उनकी पूरी टीम को इस जनता जनार्दन का बजट, पीपल्स का बजट, इसके लिए बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। साथियों, आमतौर पर बजट का फोकस इस बात पर रहता है कि सरकार का खजाना कैसे भरेगा, लेकिन ये बजट उससे बिल्कुल उल्टा है। लेकिन ये बजट देश के नागरिकों की जेब कैसे भरेगी, देश के नागरिकों की बचत कैसे बढ़ेगी और देश के नागरिक विकास के भागीदार कैसे बनेंगे, ये बजट इसकी एक बहुत मजबूत नींव रखता है।
Prime Minister Modi also highlighted how promotion of the private sector in nuclear energy will add to the development of the country.
इस बजट में रिफॉर्म की दिशा में महत्वपूर्ण कदम उठाए गए हैं। न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी में प्राइवेट सेक्टर को बढ़ावा देने का निर्णय बहुत ही ऐतिहासिक है। ये आने वाले समय में सिविल न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी का बड़ा योगदान देश के विकास में सुनिश्चित करेगा।
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presented a record 8th consecutive union budget on Saturday, focusing on 4 engines: agriculture, MSME, investment and exports to drive the goal of Viksit Bharat or developed India. The minister announced an allocation of 20,000 crore rupees to promote investing in innovation. A report on the new initiatives in this year's union budget.
Just as living beings live expecting rains, citizens live expecting good governance. These words of Tirukkural were spoken by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman as she presented the Union Budget 2025-26 in Parliament. She highlighted the middle class's strength for India's growth. Among the many new transformative reforms to augment India's growth potential, Nirmala Sitharaman announced, for the first time, no income tax will be payable up to an income of 12 lakh rupees. 2 crore rupee loans for 5 lakh women, scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, first-time entrepreneurs for 5 years have been announced. The scheme will incorporate lessons from the successful Stand Up India scheme. 1 crore gig workers of online platforms will be recognized through registration on the e-Shram portal. 1 lakh crores have been allocated in the Urban Challenge Fund to implement cities as growth hubs, creative redevelopment of cities, and water and sanitation. A maritime development fund has also been set up wherein 25,000 crores will be given for distributed support and promoting competition. 20,000 crores have been allocated for research and development of small modular reactors, wherein at least 5 indigenously developed small modular reactors will be operationalized by 2033. Medical tourism and Heal in India will be promoted in PPP mode. 20,000 crores for private sector driven research and development and innovation have been proposed. A deep tech fund of funds has been given for next generation startups. The second gene bank with 10 lakh germplasm lines for future food and nutritional security conservation support will be given to both public and private sectors for maintaining their genetic resources. 500 crores have been allocated for 1 center of excellence in artificial intelligence for education. 10,000 PM research fellowships will be given for the next 5 years for technological research in IITs and Indian Institute of Science. 50,000 Atal tinkering labs will be set up in government schools in the next 5 years. Digital form Indian language books for school and higher education will be provided under Bharatiya Bhasha Pustak scheme. In the Gyan Bharatam mission, A national digital repository of Indian knowledge systems will be provided for over 1 crore manuscripts in agriculture under Prime Minister Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana. 100 districts will be covered and over 1.7 crore farmers would be benefited. Under the 5-year Mission for Cotton Productivity, improvements in sustainable cotton farming have been announced. A Makhana board in Bihar would be set up. Among the financial sector reforms, FDI limit in insurance sector has been raised from 74 to 100%. An investment friendliness index of states will be launched in 2025 to further the spirit of competitive cooperative federalism. And finally, under the digital public infrastructure, a Bharat Trade Net (BTN) will be set up for international trade transactions. Tanvi Taneja for DD India.
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman underlined that this budget aims to initiate transformative reforms across 6 domains to augment growth potential and global competitiveness. The minister said that in the journey of development, reforms is the fuel.
Development, mining.
The budget proposals by Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will usher in a string of reforms in various sectors. This development will have a cascading domino effect on the overall economy, as the reforms will spur the growth in specific areas and act as a catalyst for the remaining sectors.
This budget aims to initiate transformative reforms across 6 domains. During the first 5 years, these will augment our growth potential and global competitiveness.
The most people-friendly part of the speech was, in fact, the announcement of a new income tax bill which will be brought in next week, reaffirming government's commitment of trust first, scrutinize later. The new income slabs are also sure to bring in loud cheer from all sections of the society. Government will forego at least 1 lakh crore in direct taxes as a result of new liberal direct tax proposals.
The new structure will substantially reduce the taxes of the middle class and leave more money in their hands, boosting household consumption, savings and investment.
Government has announced a light touch regulatory framework for enhanced productivity and employment.
A light touch regulatory framework based on principles and trust will unleash productivity and employment. Through this framework, we will update regulations that were made under old laws.
This feature will entail a new high-level committee on regulatory reforms which will submit recommendations within a year, launch of an investment friendliness index for states, FSDC mechanism and Jan Vishwas Bill 2.0 to further decriminalize 100 more provisions in various laws. Financial sector reforms have also been identified. An important development will be allowing 100% FDI in the insurance sector. Further, company mergers will be streamlined and rationalized. A forum for development of pension products is also in offing. Power remains an important enabler for industry and homes alike. It plays an important part in any economy's surge northwards. Many important reforms have been promised in the power sector, with the finance minister identifying incentives in distribution sector and ushering in partnership with private sector in the critical area of nuclear energy.
For an active partnership with the private sector towards this goal, amendments to the Atomic Energy Act and the Civil Liability for Nuclear Damage Act will be taken up.
A state mining index is also among the major reform initiatives taken for the mining sector, which has the benefit of being labor intensive as well as having a domino effect on related areas. Last but not the least, government will also incentivize reforms related to the urban sector. Cumulatively, these steps on reforms in various sectors will go a long way in enhancing ease of doing business, boosting purchasing power of the common man, and providing further fillip for the economic growth of the nation. Ravi Dhiman for DD India.
The Union Budget 2025 has received widespread appreciation from industry leaders across various sectors, highlighting its emphasis on economic growth, infrastructure development, sustainability and MSME empowerment. Experts have praised its focus on strengthening India's industrial foundation, fostering innovation and enhancing global competitiveness. Take a listen.
I would like to commend the Honorable Finance Minister for her leadership and the comprehensive budget she has presented today, which I think has been a pretty balanced budget. And of course, the most celebrated aspect of the budget has been the giant relief for the middle class in terms of the massive change in the income tax rates. Additionally, the changes in the TDS and the TCS norms would go a long way towards its endeavors for ease of doing business and ease of compliances. This budget is a commendable step as an enabler towards notable push towards clean tech and EV growth, as highlighted by the Honorable FM.
I would like to compliment the Finance Ministry and the entire team. They have given a fabulous budget. They have given money in the hands of middle class, which was the need of the hour. I think this will help in boosting the overall GDP growth rate of the country. And overall, an excellent budget, a very growth-oriented budget, very focused budget. So I would give 9.5 out of 10 to this budget.
The three key focus sectors: manufacturing, infrastructure and upskilling. In manufacturing, the National Manufacturing Mission will definitely boost Make in India. The infrastructure, for me, the new age cities through infrastructure investments and PPP projects driven will definitely transform the urban projects. Now on the upskilling, the AI for Center of Excellence will help our education system and also the workforce of the future to adopt the latest technology. Now put together, I must say the technology adoption across all the sectors in India will definitely help India to be the leader for the sustainable development and digital transformation.
Praising the rise in capex allocation, FICCI President Harshvardhan Agarwal said it will have a multiplier effect on the economy.
The capex has been put at 11.2 lakh crore, which is a 10% increase on what the government is expecting to spend this year. And since capex has the multiplier effect, so we are quite happy that the government is continuing with that journey of focusing on the capex.
FICCI's Vice President Vijay Shankar hailed the increase in capex allocation in the budget.
Ease of doing business, focus on the rural, focus on the lower end of the urban population. I think all of these are very positive from the budget without compromising on fiscal consolidation. I think the focus on continued path of bringing down the fiscal deficit from 4.8 to 4.8%, 4.4%, big positive, not compromised on capital expenditure.
RPG Group's Vice Chairman Anand Goenka in turn praised increased focus on MSMEs in the budget. Listen in.
The budget was very positive. I think big bang announcement was abolishment of income tax for up to 12 lakh income. This will give money to the hands of the middle class, increase consumption and have other implications on increasing private investment. Second is fair amount of focus on job creation by focusing on MSMEs, by focusing on high employment sectors such as toys, leather goods, footwear.
In a conversation with DD India's Shyama Mishra, the CEO and MD of the National Stock Exchange, Ashish Chauhan hailed the government's fiscal deficit target.
How would you lay out the fine details?
For me, I think there are three components of the budget which I like. One of them is the more money in the hands of the middle class by reducing tax. The second is ensuring that there is a momentum on infrastructure creation which continues. And third is the fiscal deficit in check to 4.4%. These three are in a way competing priorities. If you in any budget for any finance minister, if they want to reduce the fiscal deficit, then they need to increase taxes here. And of course, if they want to spend more money on infrastructure, then again the fiscal deficit goes up. So these three have been combined very beautifully.
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presented the Union Budget for 2025-26 in Parliament. While presenting the budget, the finance minister said that India's economy is the fastest growing among all the major economies in the world. She said that the proposed budget measures focus on 10 broad areas, and this budget aims to take everyone along on an inclusive growth path. The minister added that this budget is dedicated to accelerating growth driven by our aspirations for a Viksit Bharat. Take a look at some other major highlights of the union budget.
Her white and red sari said it all. She meant business. This was her 8th budget. The Indian economy in flight was now cruising at around 7% as it surveyed the markets around it. She saw the opportunity to put money where it mattered, in sectors that needed a boost, where India could develop and sustain an edge, and also in the infrastructure that held the economy together. Her fuel, reforms. The guiding spirit, inclusivity, and the destination, Viksit Bharat. So this is what she did. More money in the hands of the middle class. No tax with total income up to 12 lakh rupees. More credit guarantee for small businesses, the backbone of exports. Additional credit of rupees 1.5 lakh crore in the next 5 years for MSMEs. New fund of funds with expanded scope and fresh contribution of another 10,000 crore rupees to be set up for startups. Support for leather footwear and products to facilitate 22 lakh jobs. Create turnover of 4 lakh crore rupees and exports of rupees 1.1 lakh crore. India Post to be transformed into a large public logistics organization to benefit new entrepreneurs, women, self-help groups, MSMEs and large business organizations. Gig workers of online platforms to get healthcare under PM Jan Arogya Yojana to help 1 crore workers. Rupees 1.5 lakh crore proposed for 50-year interest-free loans to states for capex. Asset monetization plan for 2025-30 to plough back capital of rupees 10 lakh crores in new projects. Regulatory and fiscal measures will be fine-tuned to support the plan. Extension of Jal Jeevan Mission until 2028 with enhanced total outlay. Urban Challenge Fund of rupees 1 lakh crore to implement cities for growth hubs, creative redevelopment of cities and water and sanitation challenges. Maritime Development Fund with corpus of 25,000 crore rupees to be set up. Special window for affordable and mid-income housing. Rupees 15,000 crore for another 1 lakh units. Private sector research, development and innovation initiative gets rupees 20,000 crores. FDI limit for insurance sector raised from 75 to 100%. A light touch regulatory framework to be put in place for ease of doing business. Total estimated expenditure rupees 50.65 lakh crores. Total estimated receipts other than borrowing rupees 34.96 lakh crores. Net tax receipts estimated at 28.37 lakh crore rupees. Fiscal deficit estimated at 4.4% of GDP.
All right, joining us is Pranav Bhatia, the founder and CEO of Stirring Minds, a startup incubator. Mr. Bhatia, welcome to DD India Newshour. My first question to you would be, how would you characterize or describe the budget? Did it tick all the right boxes for you?
See, for growth in India, I think the most important thing is people having money in their hands.
Right.
This budget is about giving money in people's hands so that they can spend. And that is what would drive the growth. So I think this has been an excellent budget for what the economy has been looking for.
Specifically talking about the emphasis or accent on issues such as deep tech or increasing the capacity of institutes in the STEM education, for instance, or even talking about startups and entrepreneurship. Do you agree with the philosophy or the guiding principle or thought behind this year's budget?
See, absolutely. First of all, I think the fund of funds, 10,000 crores, that is what is the main emphasis that the budget has given for startups in the country. That's one. Then focusing on deep tech as well as Atal Tinkering Labs in schools, focusing on STEM education and all of that. I think that is what would drive growth, and I think we are looking at the right direction, and this is what the startups have been hoping for. Yeah, I think this budget has been phenomenal, and I think everybody is excited in the country.
Do you think the minister succeeded in walking a tightrope here in terms of ensuring growth while at the same time spurring or giving impetus to consumption, as you mentioned?
Yes, I think the impetus to consumption is one of the most important things that the budget is focusing on, and I think as long as that happens, all the startups in India are going to benefit, like whether it's the Swiggy or Zomato or startups focusing on consumers. As long as the consumer has money in their hands, the growth would automatically be there, and I think we are right on track of our going towards the 5 trillion economy, right? So I think that is what the budget has been focusing on, right?
And before we let you go, very quick question, Pranav, how many marks would you give the minister on a scale of 1 to 10?
See, to be very, very honest, I was not hoping that the minister would say that no income tax is there till 12 lakh rupees of income. I think it kind of exceeded all expectations, so to say. So I would say it's definitely 9 on 10. There would obviously be some scope for improvement related to ease of doing budget, ease of doing business, and other areas. But yeah, it's an excellent.
All right, 9 on 10 says Pranav Bhatia. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your thoughts with our viewers at home and abroad. Thank you for your time. Much appreciated. And with that, it's a wrap. Let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can get the latest news and updates on the DD India mobile app. It's available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen when you can to download it. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran from all of us here in New Delhi. Thanks for watching this special broadcast.